Welcome to Meg's Motorcycle Journey, where we explore the world on two wheels. This channel will follow me on my journey to become a better rider and explore my love of all things motorcycles.
Hi guys! So I actually had to work this morning. I had a court case at the courthouse, but I got out in time for us to go for a ride, and it's supposed to shape up to be a pretty good day. So Camerman and myself and our friend Doug, who you have seen in some of our other videos, are going to take you guys to Gettysburg, which is actually pretty close to where we grew up, about 30 minutes, and we're going to give you a tour of some of the cool historic sites there and bring you along for that ride. So stay tuned.
We came from the courthouse in Carroll County to the Gettysburg battlefield was our route. We drove through, this is a little town called Taneytown that is in Carroll County that we ride through fairly frequently because southern Pennsylvania has some absolutely excellent roads to ride on a motorcycle. So we will frequently ride up there, and Camerman and Doug live in Carroll County, so I come there frequently. And the three of us will ride up to PA to see various things. I mentioned in my last video that Cameraman and I are going to be making a trip to PA. We're actually going to what is referred to as the Grand Canyon of PA this week. And I am so excited to show you guys footage because we had a friend that went there and said it's some of the coolest riding he's ever done. So I can't wait for that trip. It'll be nice for me to take a break from my legal work after what has been a truly exhausting couple of weeks. But before we did that, we thought that you guys might enjoy this tour of Gettysburg. I know a lot of you guys are big fans of battlefields and history. I admittedly am not a history buff, although my little sister is, and although this is unrelated to motorcycles, she's actually going to be publishing a historical fiction novel, and I am incredibly proud of her, so I'm gonna put in a shameless plug for her book. She did the cover unveiling just this weekend, and it will be out in the month of June, so I'm very excited for that. But I know she's not the only one. A lot of you guys really enjoy history. I went to Gettysburg frequently as a child because we would have field trips and things of that nature. Frankly, I don't remember a ton about it. I do know that it is known to be the turning point of the Civil War and that the battle occurred in 1863. And you'll see a bunch of monuments. You'll actually see, as we pass by the gravesite a little bit later on our bikes, there is a lot of very cool resources there to explore the area and learn a lot about what occurred during the battle. There is tons of signage and literature, and there's a visitor center, and there's actually an auto tour that you can take, which you'll hear me briefly talk about how this is the first time I really did the auto tour, at least that I can remember. I probably did it in a school bus as a child. I just don't recall. Cameraman and Doug have really enjoyed riding in various battlefield and historical locations. They've been to Gettysburg a lot, and they've also been to Antietam. Now, my little boys went camping in Antietam, and I've heard that that is available, so maybe we will do a moto camping trip to Antietam. I think Doug would come with us because he really liked it there. So, Cameraman in this shot is behind me, and Doug is in front of me, and the three of us ride together fairly frequently. We all grew up together. Cameraman and Doug have been friends since they were really, really little, and I've known Cameraman since middle school and Doug since high school. We all used to go skiing and snowboarding together. So we've got a long history, and now we all enjoy riding motorcycles together. So this is us riding into the battlefield area. We were looking for a good place to stop. We end up swinging back around and going to the visitor center. But in just a moment, as I mentioned a few minutes ago, you will see the grave sites. Those will be on the right-hand side. And then for a brief moment, we enter into downtown Gettysburg, which is a very cute little town that has got a bunch of cool places to eat, places to sightsee. If you come on a nice day, you can walk around and there's a bunch of small shops. So if you are in the area, I would highly recommend it. You know how I feel about small businesses and patronizing small businesses, and it's a great place to do that. So there's the grave sites on the right. You can see us coming up on some of the monuments and things of that nature. Here's the little tiny bit of downtown Gettysburg that we taped that is pretty nifty as well. So there's Camerman's in the back, Doug's right there to the right, and I'm in the front. The weather was not as warm as I would have liked, although when the sun came out, it was actually very nice and closer to 70, but then it got very windy at times and cold and closer to high 50s, low 60s, and I am just so ready for it to be warm. I am so ready to not have to wear layers and heated gear and to just feel the wind and the sun in my face, because I think there is no better feeling in this world than riding motorcycles in warm and beautiful weather.
So we're here at the Gettysburg battlefield. There is an auto tour, so we'll be taking you guys on the auto tour. I think both Camerman and Doug have been on the auto tour before, but I have not. I've been here to Gettysburg and I've seen a lot of the different monuments, and hopefully we got some good footage coming in, because leading all the way up to it, there's a whole bunch of historical sites that are pretty cool. But hopefully you guys will enjoy the tour. I know some of you are history buffs, and so you might see some pretty cool sights. For a little bit of the tour of the battlefield. As kids, we were all close. We came here on field trips. Unfortunately, I can't remember all of the historical significance, but it is a pretty cool place. I think this is a neat overlook, so I thought we'd pull off for a second and take you guys to see the view. I think you'll see in some of the riding footage that we rode down the bottom of this, and now we're up here at the top, so it looks like it would be pretty neat. There's a bunch of monuments.
Meg, this is a little round top. Remember a big round top, little round top?
Oh, this is?
This is a little round top.
Look at that cameraman with his history knowledge that I'm
Fifth grade knowledge
There
there.
you go. He's on top of it. So there's some walking tours around here. So I think there's a walking tour over there. And there's a monument. This is pretty amazing view. We rode down through that and up around the side. So.
Pretty cool, huh? Look at those cannons.
Why are some of them blue, do you know? You know the blue ones?
I don't know. Should jump on a cannon.
I feel like you're not allowed.
Is there a sign that says you can't?
I feel like it's like you facing like monument property.
I would take it as a sign of respect.
Wait a second though. Will I get in trouble if I do a handstand on the rock?
No, you can do that.
Let's see, hold on. It's like not flat enough. I can't get my balance. Here, I'm trying my best. Oh, they're gonna yell at me.
He's not.
Huh?
He's nobody.
They're not gonna yell at me?
Nope.
Here,
You paid your taxes last year and do what you want.
this rock is better.
How'd you go to the hospital? I know.
No, I've been doing this for I'm a professional handstander.
Pretty cool though.
Huh?
Pretty cool.
It is cool. The sight is cool. These are really cool. Sights, scenes, that's not what I meant. The views, there we go. There we go.
There you go.
It's okay. Still not good. Good.
Ooh, I hurt my ankle.
You okay?
Yeah. Slow down.
Sorry, I had the fast walk. I was leaving Camerman and Doug behind. Are you really hurt?
Yeah.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Do you need to stop?
No. We'll be alright. Just walk it
Oh,
off.
look, you can climb up into this thing. I don't want to do the handstand. You're hurting yourself or anything. It's pretty neat.
What is it?
Stairs and stuff. Pretty cool. That's pretty. I feel like when we're done, we're going to get a picture for Instagram.
Tight in here. Doug, grab that. Thank you. Hey, all doing? Dougie was behind us, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was. Wow, that's cool.
Don't do a handstand there.
I'm not going to.
It's pretty cool.
I'll probably be fine, but I'm not going to.
Yeah.
This is like one of the highest points.
Could be.
Sometimes people don't even know what they're actually talking about. Taking them on the real history. I do wish it was warmer. What happened to Doug?
I don't know, but I dropped my jacket down there. Your jacket, I thought he was behind me.
Coming up.
Go ahead.
Oops, sorry.
Sorry.
Excuse us.
Okay. There you go. Thank you. It's pretty cool up there. What is this? The 44th New York Infantry.
Come on.
It just amazes me. Why do you think that was there? Through the woods,
Alright, let's get back on the bikes and see what else we can
got?
find. Didn't you say there's something cool around that, like, that I missed? Turn back around and go back.
I mean, there's so many different things we could be on.
When you came here before, did you turn down there like a ways back? Is that what you wanted me to turn?
If I could remember stuff like that, I wouldn't be washing cars. I have no clue, hon.
I feel like when we first came in, it gave you the option to turn
Yeah,
down there.
there was, I mean, because there was like that wide open field. That's where we want to get to, is like the wide open field.
Okay, then let's,
Try to get that way.
yeah.
What do you think, Dougie?
Yeah, I would probably
Alrighty.
back down the hill.
We actually lost a lot of footage. Thankfully, we rode into town, we got something to eat, and we did another loop back around. So we still had some decent battlefield footage, but I was very disappointed because the sun had finally come out and we finally got some great footage. So I've been frustrated, as I mentioned in my previous video, with some technical issues. It is the thing that I am worst at, being a moto vlogger. I'm decent at marketing. I've learned a lot about editing. I certainly have the passion to ride and to share that journey with you guys, but I am not great with technology, which is why I've asked so many of you guys for help with what your suggestions are for camera equipment, etc. Here is another pretty cool monument that we stopped at. You can actually walk up into that monument as well and take a look from the top. Also very neat, but not quite the view that we had in the last one, so I didn't film that one for you guys. But nonetheless, very cool. I think this is one of the neatest things, that you can actually ride your bike or a car through this area that goes on for several miles to see all the monuments. us getting ready to head home. Like I said, it's only about a half an hour from our hometown. So it's a nice little ride where we get to take some cool roads and see some really cool sights without having to travel too far from home. So this is actually a cool little thing you don't get to see very often. This is Doug videotaping from his cell phone, cameraman and I riding up in front of him. So many of you are used to seeing me ride, but not cameraman. This is back to cameraman taping me. I'm in the front. Cameraman is next to me and Doug is behind us. This is a really pretty little road coming home. We've found a couple of alternate routes that are not highways, and we like to take those roads instead of highways. So I know there's an app for that called Rever. Do any of you guys use that? I downloaded it, but I really need to do some more exploring with it. Do you guys have any other suggestions for apps that help you find roads with twisties and find roads that aren't highways, sort of off the beaten path? If you do, say so in the comments. This is back to Doug's in front. I am on the right and cameraman is behind us taping. This road's pretty neat. In a second, you'll see cameraman pulls up and does some taping of just Doug riding. It is kind of cool if you've never had somebody record you to see yourself riding. So you saw Doug's bike when we were stopped. He has a 2012 Harley-Davidson Blackline. It's a very cool bike. He has had it since 2012, so he's kept good care of it. He has had a Harley longer than any of us that you have seen or met in any of my videos. I think I've mentioned before that cameraman had a sport bike in his 20s, but Doug was the first one to get a Harley, and then all of us followed suit. So that is what he still rides, and so I guess he's really a trendsetter. But it's a very unique bike. You don't see many of them. I hardly ever hear of any other Blacklines, but I really like it. It's sort of like Cameraman's bike in that it's got sort of a classic look, but it does have the spokes on the front tire. So he's got a really cool bike, and perhaps in an upcoming video, we will give you a tour of his bike like we did of Cameraman and I's. At any rate, I am very excited to go on the trip, as I mentioned, this week. So look forward to some footage from that trip. We will probably do 2 videos on that because there's so many cool things that I want to see. I have some other very exciting news, and I want to thank all of you that reached out and asked me or suggested different places or venues, but I have found a place to do a meet and greet in Myrtle Beach. So we will be in Myrtle Beach Bike Week from the 14th to likely the 16th or 17th in May. So we are really looking forward to that, and we've got potentially some friends that are gonna come down with us, so that should be a really great time. I really hope that I get an opportunity to meet a lot of you like I did in Daytona, because that was super cool. If you are a regular of Myrtle Beach Bike Week, let me know in the comments what are the best things to do and places to see, and what are things that I shouldn't miss while we're there. We will also be making a couple stops on the way there at some cool places, and of course we'll be filming and taking you guys along. So get ready for some really cool footage for the months of May and June. And until next time, ride safe. Don't forget to like and subscribe.